I want to show you a few ways how you can modify the layout of your document. First of all is going to be the orientation. There's only two orientations within Word. There's the portrait and the landscape. The portrait is, well, the default view that you see here, the page, where it's an 8.5 by 11. In fact, you can come up here and take a look at it on the horizontal ruler. You can see that we got the workable area in the lighter shade, 6.5 inches, and then add an inch to the right margin and the left margin. There's 8.5, and then of course 11 inches vertically. If you don't see the rulers, then come up here and click on that View Ruler button, which is just above the vertical scroll bar. When I click on it, it'll hide it, but click on it again and it brings it back up. So that's the portrait view. If you want more space width-wise, you can go ahead and change it to the landscape view. In fact, let me come up here, click on the File tab, go down to the Print window. So you can see over here in the Print preview, there's your portrait. It's 8.5 by 11. And if I want to go ahead and flip that on its side, so I have more width than I do height, then come down here, click on Portrait, and change it to Landscape. See, it just tilts it on its side, so now I have more room over here to the right, because instead of being an 8.5 by 11, it's now 11 by 8.5 vertically. Now, this isn't the only place that you can change the orientation. There's quite a few other places, like coming up here, clicking on the Page Layout tab, going to the Page Setup group, and there's orientation. Now, before I go ahead and change that, again, look at your ruler. Before we had 6.5 inches of workable area. Now that's expanded here to 9 inches with an inch on each side here in the margins. So there's your 11 inches total. So let me come up here, click on Orientation, and go down and go back to Portrait. Or you can come back here to the Page Setup group, click on its expandable dialog box button. On the Margins tab, it's there as well, Landscape, Portrait. Let me click Cancel. In fact, the shortcut to get to that expandable window, if you have your rulers up, go ahead and double click really fast in the shaded area, in the margin area. When you double click, it brings up the Page Setup window. So there's a shortcut. In fact, while we're here, let's go on to the paper size. If you need to change the paper size that you're going to be printing on, let's go to the Paper tab. You see the default's the letter. You can go ahead and customize that and say instead of 8.5 by 11, it's now going to be 9 by 11. And you can see its custom size, or if you know the name of the paper type that you'll be using, let's go ahead and scroll up. Let's see, they have A3, A4. I don't know what A4 is. Okay, it's 8.27 width, 11.69 height. Ooh, that's fun. Or click on the drop-down arrow, and let's do envelope 10. Now, if it doesn't look right down here in the preview window, because I know a number 10 envelope shouldn't be vertically, it should be horizontal here, then come over here to the Margins tab, and there we go, change it to Landscape, and doesn't that look more like a number 10 envelope? Click Okie dokie, and there we go. So that's how you can change your paper size. How about working with the margins? Because as you recall, we've got 1 inch on the left margin, right margin, and 1 inch on the top margin and the bottom margin. So anything in between those margins is a workable area that we can go ahead and type in some text. And you can see the top line here starts right below the 1 inch margin. So if I want to go ahead and shrink that up and say, okay, instead of 1 inch from the top, let's do about 1/4 inch so the text can start a little bit earlier up. Then to bring up the margins, again, just go ahead and double click in the shaded area on that ruler there. Brings up the Page Setup window. There's the Margins tab. Go ahead and click on it if it's not defaulted to the tab. And then let's change the top from 1 inch to type in 0.25. Hit the Tab key, and you can see down here in the preview window the line of text there. It's really close to the top. So go ahead and click OK, and boom, wow, it pulls it right up there. You've got just 1/4 inch margin here that you won't be able to add any text to. It's going to be this far from the top of your document, or in this case, the number 10 envelope. And then finally, the last feature that I want to show you is the vertical center feature. So for example, if I want all the text on the page to be centered here vertically without guessing by coming up here and hitting enter, 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 enter and saying, okay, I think that's about centered. Let's go ahead and hit undo. And then to go ahead and center it vertically, let's go ahead and double click in the shaded part of the ruler to bring up the Page Setup window. Go to the Layout tab, and there it is, the page section. Vertical alignment. By default, when you start typing in your text, it's going to be at the top. Well, below the top margin. Click on the drop-down arrow. Let's do center. Click Okie dokie, and it centers it. Cool. Let's go ahead and change this back to the regular letter size by double-clicking here, going to the Paper tab. Click on the drop-down arrow, scroll back up, select letter, and if I click OK, look at the preview. It looks like it's more in landscape mode. Well, it should be because that's what the envelope is. Go to the Margins tab. Change it back to Portrait, and then go ahead and click OK. Now don't forget we have the Center Vertically feature turned on here, so let me scroll down to the middle, and there you go, it's centered in the middle of the page. And that margin to the left-hand side is really tight, so again, just go ahead and double-click in that shaded area, And let's go back to the default of 1 inch. Click OK, and that looks so much nicer. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel to get notified of the latest videos. And for great specials on my products, please see the description below this video.